Hi, so this is another randomly picked up time for recording some of my thoughts. It's a lovely Saturday morning, a morning where I usually get quite a bit of my sleep. And yeah, I hope that sound is not too much in the video, but um, there we are, perfect. All right, so what I have been actually so my name is Vatsal, and this is actually one of my videos, which is something which I began recently, and it's mainly about thoughts and feelings which I have been wanting to put out on YouTube to the world. There is no specific agenda behind this. There's no specific intention as anything monetary or anything financial. It is just putting it out there. I have been putting a lot of vlogs in my phone, and I thought that those are pretty much more intimate and a lot more in a private space. So this is a little more for the public. What these videos are about is to basically talk about my thoughts and feelings. There is no script, it's just here. I'm going to be articulating as I speak. There is a purpose that is just to voice it out, and anybody who is watching this can feel less lonelier and can feel more accompanied because everybody is fighting their own silent struggles. And this is something which I want to put out on the internet and not on Instagram. Um, um, So my name is Vatsal, and I'm 32 years of age, 31 years of age. I have been going into therapy since 2020-ish, because that's when I could start to afford it, and I also had the personal space to have it uninterrupted. Uh, my 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 headspace of thought today is parents, family, and how I began to realize that questioning my upbringing, questioning myself, questioning my bonds with them, questioning the idea of family and love and attraction and relationships, and questioning the whatever I have learned, what my inner voice actually is, if it even is mine. All of these things, and does it lead to me looking at my parents and the people who I have known throughout my life differently? So to begin with, I just thought to myself that, hey, this path, this journey of healing is something which I don't even know if it has stages. I don't even know if it has got phases, or what you call it medically speaking. I'm just going through it through introspection, reflection, and it's majorly like I have had therapy sessions through, I think, two 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 therapists through referrals from friends in India, and it's like the first one was when I was in Copenhagen. But then I had to actually skip over that and request her to actually bail out on the sessions because it was a family physician who was also a therapist, so I could not openly talk. The second one was through a very close friend of mine. I have known her since 2014 or earlier than that. It's been more than 10 years, 10 to 12 years. So the main thing here is that uh, yeah, so the main thing here is that when you heal, what does it mean? What is going on when I say I heal? A simple example: you're going for a cycle, you fall down, you injure your knee, your skin scrapes off, you bleed, you're hurt because it pains. And then, because you can't keep walking with that, it's gonna keep on bleeding, it's gonna look ugly, feel ugly, and it's gonna hurt you more and get infected. So you have to wash it off, make sure it's not septic, pad it, put a band-aid, and let it heal. That means that the skin clots. The clot and everything is a process of the skin skinning back, so to speak. It has to heal because once you're hurt, you need to find out how to get healed. A band-aid is the universal mode of truth that hey, if you put a band-aid, it's going to cover it up, it's going to be medicinal, and it'll heal your skin. However, now the thing in my mind is that as I am actually growing through this, I have to still go through certain things in life, such as relationships, uh, living together with that person, communicating with that person, and also living together, communicating, and um, how do I put this? Uh, Getting married, uh, living together, kind of socializing with the relatives, and then afterwards, if we choose to be parents, then even planning for that. These are all the mainstream checkpoints. The part which is even more important is a deeper one called the in betweens. This is a very uncomfortable way to talk. Um, that's okay. There's good light here. Yeah, it's fine. So what I mean to say is that I will plead guilty on one thing, although it's not very incorrect. I am using ChatGPT as a source of insights and guidance. Therapy is a little too expensive for me right now, and on Zoom calls, I have reached an impasse, a mental saturation where if it's on a Zoom call, I am not sure if it's going to help me. I'll need something upfront, and they are usually a bit expensive, and so I'm still planning my budget with my partner. The both of us want to get into therapy, but we are wondering how, where, and how much. So when you start to heal, you start to see yourself as the way you are. But before that comes grief. You have to grieve because you're shedding parts of yourself out, just like a butterfly would before it becomes a butterfly. And you basically begin to see your family as the way they are, and you would start to dislike you as disliking them. Why am I disliking them? And at the same time, you would even start to wonder that are these the people I actually grew up with? Are these the people I actually once lived with? And that's gonna make you go bonkers, because it's like that is the process. You know how in chemistry, when an electron in the outer shell or the valence shell has to go through some amount of energy, it's called an exothermic reaction, where it kind of has to maybe give out some energy to leave that shell, and then to break off, to realign with another shell from another. God, science student tax. Anyways, I mean, I hope the point is actually, it may be coming across to you who's listening to this video. Um, it's actually a little trickier than I thought to do this for a YouTube video, but yeah, I have a script. Maybe I should keep a script next time. I am not entirely sure about that. I'll try to stick on to my chain of thoughts. It'll be great if I can just fucking sit down somewhere. Wait. Okay, much better place. I'm sitting down, and I don't have to break my lower back on this. Um, I didn't really introduce myself in the beginning of the video, but I'll just I'll just let you know who I am. As I said, my name is Vatsal, and I am right now 31 years of age. I have been raised in Singapore. I have lived in Mumbai and Singapore uh, simultaneously for 18 years, and now I have lived in Copenhagen for my masters as well. Now I'm in the city of Pune, and I am basically a deputy manager in performance marketing at Bajaj Finserv, and my degree has been in Bachelor's of Information Technology from MIT Pune, And my master's has been from Aalborg University in Copenhagen. Schooling has been across Singapore in many schools. Like you have got, I was in a government school in Singapore for 7 years. Then I went to uh, DPS. I had gone to GIS, and now I am a writer since the past 3 years. 2 years and 6 months, but yeah, it's going to be 3 years soon. So I am also a dancer by training. I also enjoy singing. I like to beatbox as well. I had learned to play the keyboard, lost touch. I am trained in the tabla, and that's why I actually have a very good affinity towards is that the right word? I have a good affection towards percussion and rhythm. And apart from that, I love to just hum tunes. I whistle tunes. I'm a very artistic and a very musical person by nature and by my body's physiology. So the job I have right now is a very sedentary 9.5 hours, 10 hours job, which keeps my feet very restless because they need to move. And I'm doing a mechanical work of like 6 or 7 odd articles every day using the AI tools, and we don't talk much. I mean, we do talk. I have found people who are just like me on, in the office, like-minded, like, they actually perceive the world in very similar ways to me as well. We have our differences, of course. I'm still learning. We have just met, but I found a wavelength with them. And yeah, I mean, I can actually be who I am at the workplace. I think that's actually a liberty I've taken, and a privilege which I have made for myself. So now I am living in a hostel in Viman Nagar at the moment, and it's like uh, I have been living in a hostel since I moved out of home in Copenhagen since 2019. And ever since the lockdown happened, it's been quite isolating. But the isolation also made me realize a lot of things about my own mind. And when you can hear your own mind, that is like, it's creepy, it's intimidating, and it's mind-blowing too. And it makes you go crazy. It makes you feel depressive. I was not depressed. I'll just be very, very, let me just give a disclaimer. I am not clinically depressed at all. I am very hale and hearty, sound. However, I felt sad. I felt very intensely negative, disappointed, shameful, embarrassed, all of these things, because I could just hear my brain a lot. My inner voice coupled with my parents' voice, coupled with a lot of critique, all of these things. And so when these things happen, it tends to get very heavy for the mind, and that's where I realized that I need to get into therapy. Now, therapy is something which I had never experienced before. I had just heard about that from my close friend, and she actually told me that just give it a shot. The thought of paying a professional to hear you out, just hear you out, for a desi kid, and that too for someone who's desi and queer, it is very it's very like, मैं क्या बात करूँ, where do I start from? What do I say? And how do I say it? Will I be able to handle myself while I say it? Will I be rumbling down the staircase while I say it? They are listening to me, sure, but I'm gonna start making judgments and impressions about what they might be feeling while I'm saying it, because I'm not used to that kind of space. Therapy is not something which is very openly discussed and accepted in Desi households, because everyone's so broken and unhealed that they are so comfortable in their own uh, bubble, in their own delusions, that they are like, खा ले थोड़ा सा अच्छे से, पी ले मतलब पानी, stay hydrated, and you'll be good to go. Just call your aunt, call your grandma, and then you'll be good to go. That is, for them, is what it means to be all right. But no, I happen to be an individual who is agnostically, spiritually inclined in ways that I feel the need and the desire to look in internally, look inwards, and question things and see how I could be better. Because I read this line somewhere on the internet through a book, Instagram, I'm not sure where, but for me, unfamiliar spaces are hell. Sorry, unfamiliar heaven is difficult, whereas familiar hell is comfortable. Let me say that again. Unfamiliar heaven is hell, and unfamiliar hell is heaven. Makes sense? If it doesn't, it just means that any comfort, peace, relaxation, and joy and serenity which is unfamiliar to me happens to be a little uncomfortable. It happens to be a little, makes me fidgety, like this, like, I just tend to do this at work like a lot. Bend my fingers, like, like this, do this with my fingers and shit like that. A lot, a lot. There's no one disturbing me actively, but the rut of that atmosphere where everyone is into their screens like this, I find fuck all, like really fuck all. I'm like, I want to run away from here, but it's that paycheck which is helping me pay my rent, stay in a hostel, and live a better life every day. Better life how? I am not living in that dysfunctional household. I just don't want to. I choose not to. Why do I live there? Get the world's best food. Sleep in a bed. Oh, I can't even sleep. FYI. I mean, the last time I probably slept like a log, like a fucking cat or like a baby. So babies don't sleep like that. Babies cry their lungs out. Uh, sorry about that. Um, the last time I slept well was when I was in Chennai. I was in a hotel, and it had air condition. I mean, I'm in a hostel. This place doesn't have air condition. I pay an exorbitant amount of rent, but no, it's pretty much bare minimum. Little better than where I've lived in the past, but it's what can I say? Uh, I slept that night when I was waiting for my girlfriend to actually come to the hostel and then to meet me so we can go out in Chennai and just have a nice ride and have some good breakfast. I slept. I like slept. I was in bed by 10:30. We had a quick call. I slept off, and the next morning I woke up at 6:30, fresh as a daisy, just fresh. And it's like when you're as fresh as a daisy, you have to hydrate. When you're as fresh as a daisy, I was like, I don't even remember when the last time I slept in this hostel was probably when I shifted in the first time, because of the dopamine of shifting in and something new happening. I came inside here, I think 17th of March. Check your date. It's June first week. March, April, May, June. It's gonna be what, nearly 3 months, 2.5 months. I have to I will be getting myself checked up for certain things. Get a health checkup for ADHD, for just get a mental health checkup, get a learning checkup. How I perceive the world and stuff like this. Just to understand myself essentially. Um, uh, if anyone watching this might have a question, or you might have something to say, feedback, something positive, something insightful, comments, just drop it in somewhere there. Yeah, I mean, just drop it in. I'm not going, I don't have a very fancy background, or look at my t-shirt. I just woke up some time back. I just had breakfast. My hair is not done. Um, I know that ChatGPT shouldn't be used as a tool, as an alternative therapist, but I just want insight. Just want insight. I mean, It's not a good thing to use ChatGPT as an insightful tool, but again, could it be at times? It really helps, to be honest. I mean, I think I like it. I think I definitely like it, but yeah, I mean, um, um, yeah, it's kind of zoned out of my tangent. I sometimes feel fearful or uncomfortable with the thought that healing myself might make me distance away from my family, my blood family, and my I might eventually find a real line chosen family. Yeah, because that is what happens with people who choose to question themselves, discover very uncomfortable truths, grieve, shatter, cry, wail, rage, vent out because you never get to do these things in a household. The only raging and the venting out and the anger is coming from fathers in Indian households who choose and decide that they can do that because hey, they are fathers, and it's just very normalized. And it's like, at what point do you even choose to decide that hey, they should stop? The mothers are choosing to be silent if they don't want to leave the household, and the fathers, they choose to lash out, make the atmosphere very uncomfortable, like just mess up the entire atmosphere. They may even be knowing what their actions are doing, but then they are like a raging bull which just doesn't know how to stop. When that happens, and when people start leaving, then they question them, because people like this end up gaslighting you. Simpler term, they end up making you feel that you're at fault when you were never at fault, and you end up feeling like मैंने क्या किया, what have I done. मतलब जो कोई इंसान जब ऐसे God, this noise. जब कोई इंसान ऐसे बिहेव करता है, उसके इरादे अच्छे नहीं होते, और तुम उस घर में रह रहे के ऐसे सोचते हो कि मैं इस घर में क्यों हूँ. That's what I feel my mother might be doing sometimes, that why is she choosing to be in that house? But again, she is tied to a role in that house. It is not that easy, is what I have realized in recent times. Initially, I was like, let's just leave and go out. And now I'm like, I know why she's staying. She's emotionally tied to her role as not just a mother, but also as a wife in that household. That house is something she has made emotionally, culturally, religiously, ethically. That house is there because she is there. If she leaves, she will be leaving not just a house, but a bubble of memories. It's not easy for her at all. Now I actually understand that. It's not easy for Appa as well. But they both have chosen to be the way they are. And now that me, their child, is actually not the way they expected to be, because my mother and father would have liked me to be the way they would have liked me to be. They don't like the version of me who I actually am. The person who is seeing them for who they actually are, the person that I am. A queer Indian, a 31 queer Indian adult. And a person like this, if anything, needs more therapy because they didn't take it, so I'm taking it. And so because of this, it's the journey has begun. And it's like this is where it begins through dance. Now I've learned hip hop, house, a little bit of breaking, whacking, voguing, disco, and now I'm doing semi-classical in Bollywood because that's the only class which is available next to me, and I'm like, why not? I might as well learn some dance. Semi-classical is making me unlock the femme side of me, the grace, the ada, the nazakat, the fluidity, the essence, the sensuality, all of these things. House and hip hop, it keeps you a little rigid. It's good, it's powerful, it's nice, but semi-classical makes you slow down, makes you feel your curves, and like it makes you step out of the box and be one with women around you. Now let me say that again. Semi-classical as a dance form makes me open up to my own body and to my own skin, because yes, I am I am in a outfit which is streetwear, but the dance is not streetwear. It is very fluid, soft, sensuous, loving, affectionate. You know, they I think they call this the rasas or the ras in classical terminology. And it's like when this happens, you sort of I begin to break the barrier between me and them as men and women, and it becomes just bodies which are just moving to music in that same space. It's like hitting puberty again, but without the lust. I see women for what they are, and no more from my own hormonal perspective, because yes, I do find them attractive, but after that I feel more respect towards them when I begin to learn to move the way their bodies may be naturally inclined to move. To be very honest, even the girls in my class don't move in the mainstream typical feminine way. Even they struggle, but I feel that I have that, so I want to unlock that more. And as a queer individual, I think that I want to bring that out more, that just to figure out that mask and that femme inside of me, because that is also helping me grow as a person, and also helping me nurture my relationship with more love and affection with my girlfriend. Um, so I don't have a script, again, as I said, and I'm feeling a little out of topic to talk about. It's a lot, and I think I'm already 30 minutes into this video, but maybe something just to bring it to a slow pause would would be, this is not about getting an answer. It's more about leaving out a question, open question, because having question is more important than having an answer. It gives you that zing when you start asking questions, and then when you start asking questions more and more, you start to ask questions which are having a resonance with you and your brain. Sometimes even asking the right question or being asked that question makes you feel something from the inside. Answers don't matter all the time. No. Get out of your CBSE and your SSC books. Fuck that shit. It's more important now to have the right 5 marks question than the wrong 10 marks answer. So yeah, it's a process for me. It's a journey for me. It's going to be lifelong. It's making me question and just ponder upon what kind of a husband I might be to my future wife, now girlfriend. What kind of a father I might want to be. I'm still questioning now and then, like, hey, it still intimidates me, because being the role of a parent is very big, it's very expansive. You choose to bring a child into this world with your partner through whichever means. Maybe it might be through adoption, or maybe through your own blood, sorry, through your own, the usual process which happens. And this process is where it's like this craving that, hey, I want to undo what my parents did and redo what I believe is good parenting. But again, I am learning. Being a parent is a lifelong journey. Being a teacher, being a parent, being a teacher sounds very similar sometimes. You know, like you have the foundation of being a good human being and a good, kind human being, and you have to nurture your children who you have been given the responsibility to. A teacher does that legally and professionally. A parent does that legally. I think my perfectionist conditioning which I have got, and the fear of failure which I have, is making me be like, like this, like be a parent perfectly, do it in the right shot. But no, the child who Padma and I, yeah, that's my girlfriend's name. The child who Padma and I may want to bring into this world, uh, it is our responsibility to only nurture it, to give it good human values, and to teach it to just be kind and loving, and to be a healthy kid, no matter what gender that kid might want to be afterwards. Maybe it will be, I mean, again, again, this is a disclaimer that I being a queer individual, I have no intentions to impose queerness onto my future child, into our future child, but I'd like to just help them discover themselves in their own skin. If they feel that they are a straight individual or a heterosexual individual, they so be them, but just treat people who are not like you with kindness, because straightness is not the default. It has never been. Nature is not completely straight, it is not completely hetero, it is not completely queer. But what is queer is that the world is evolving. That is queerness. The world is evolving over time. Queerness is not just being gay or being bi or being trans or whatever, being non binary. No. It is where anything is questioning its existence in a framework and getting out of it to discover its own self. That is what is called queer as well. Being odd, being quirky, being eccentric, not being a conformist just because you are told to. That is what is being queer. So yeah, that is what I have to say at the moment. I'll share more thoughts in more themes down the line. These videos don't have any schedule, but I just keep some days gap between them just to have a contemplation of what to talk about. But yeah, I hope this video helps whoever's listening, and to just let you know that there are people around you who you are inspiring without even knowing it, because they may not know how to say it to you, or they may not have the courage to say it out to you, but they have their eyes on you. They might just be keeping their presence around you indirectly just to see who you are, see how you're behaving, see how you're interacting. And sometimes they might even come and make friends with you if they feel that they would like to cross paths. But yeah, I mean, I'll just keep this to a very quiet and a gentle open-ended pause by putting it out there that healing for me is going to be a lifelong journey. And down the line, when I look back at these videos, it's going to be like, hey, this is the Vatsal who was on the path of getting out of that framework, because I know that it was affecting me to be in that framework. It was hurting me to be in that framework. Therapy is going to be difficult, but this is also my own self therapy of sorts, until I find a healer, until I find a guru to actually tap into, whoever that person will be. Me and my partner both, not just me. I speak for myself and her. I speak for us. So yeah, this is me signing off. I hope that whoever watches this video, it leaves you feeling maybe a bit inspired, or it maybe leaves you feeling a little better, a little lighter, that there's someone in this world, if you're in the same country, or if you're not in the same country, that there's someone in this world who thinks similar to you. Or if you have thoughts which are conflicting, comments, let me know. I mean, share it out. The comments are open. I mean, it's YouTube. I'm putting out stuff which I feel, and I am also trying my best to accept comments which might not be in agreement with my perspectives. But yeah, go ahead. Thanks a lot for listening. If you have made it till this point, and if you'd like to, you can just subscribe. So um, whenever I post something new, and if you'd like to be automatically updated with that, you'll get to know about it. So cheers, peace out.